The global political landscape is changing, and it's changing fast. But now 54 political parties from around the world are gathering in Kempton Park to discuss this. They're all taking part in the BRICS Political Party Plus Dialogue, and it comes just a few weeks before the much-anticipated 15th BRICS Summit in South Africa. Let me cross now to my colleague, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, is there and joins me now, of course, to look at this. And Pule, very warm good morning to you, colleague. I can see behind you that it seems like it's all systems go in preparations for this BRICS political sitting. What's to be expected today?
Yes, definitely quite a significant and important day as well, where we'll be seeing some of the BRICS political parties as well coming here together, about 56 international fraternal parties, to discuss everything BRICS, the criteria to join the bloc, and of course around the issue, or rather the topic around the expansion of the South to become a much more formidable bloc within the global community as well. But joining me right now is the first Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, she speaks to me this morning. Thank you very much for joining me, Mama. Maybe let's start with the importance of today. What does it mean to be hosting such an important event?
It actually reaffirms the role of the African National Congress in the politics, not only in Africa but worldwide, and that we also affirm the significance of BRICS. Because we're hosting on behalf of the BRICS parties, albeit many other challenges, everybody had the confidence and support that we should be hosting. Thirdly, that amidst the developments between Russia and Ukraine, we also have a delegation from Russia that is here, from both the ruling party as well as the other party that has had a historical relationship with the African National Congress. Key in the deliberations, it's around issues of the development of Africa. It is about the expansion of BRICS. It is about issues that have got a potential to grow the economy in Africa, but also the trade amongst the BRICS nations. And then the criteria for the participation or being a member of BRICS. Of course, others have come for different reasons. Others, it is about an interest to have access to the development bank, but others, it is because of the interest of becoming permanent members of BRICS, and therefore there has to be serious deliberation so that by August, when heads of states meet, parties would have actually processed these matters. The last meeting of the parties' secretariat said this morning at around 5:30. So there's been a lot of work that has been happening behind the scenes, and I'm quite excited that we are almost there. When we get to commissions, it will now be about the course of action that has to take place.
Let's take us through the importance of the development bank. What are some of the key discussions that will be taking place in around that item?
It has to do with creating an alternative means of accessing resources for developing nations, but also it has to do also with the mobilization of the resources and making sure that through us coming together, we then have more value, both in terms of borrowing, but also in terms of being able to be the lenders. The other thing, it is about creating an opportunity of doing away with a domination of one against the majority. We've been quite concerned as the ANC about the attitude of promoting a unipolar kind of an approach, both in the geopolitics but also in the economic dynamics of the world. So the significance of the development bank, it's about also access for developing nations, for women, for young people, but of importance also appreciating that out of every conflict you still have to have resources to invest. We are faced with the challenges now around the agricultural situations, and one of the discussions is why are we not actually looking at mobilizing ourselves and putting up the resources, use our infrastructure, especially the natural resources of the BRICS parties, including here in Africa, to grow our economy and diversify.
Obviously, the BRICS Political Dialogue comes a month before the BRICS Summit. In terms of an update, has there been any indication around whether the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, will be attending the summit? Have there been any indication from Kremlin?
The good thing is that the invitations have all gone out, and government is handling the process, and we as the ANC are continuously briefed by Comrade President, and we hope that at an appropriate time he will actually be the one who will be announcing. But for now, all parties have acknowledged the receipt of the invitations.
Thank you very much. Of course, that's the first Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, Nomvula Mkonyane. But I just want to show you before the BRICS and of course Africa Political Parties Plus Dialogue 2023 continues. Preparations are of course in place. We've seen other delegates from other international political fraternities making their way from the UAE, Russia, India, and of course I also saw from other countries within the SADC region such as Zimbabwe as well. We saw officials from ZANU-PF also arriving here at the event. But right now they are about to start. We see there's a choir there that's opening the ceremony, and then we will be seeing of course some of the guests taking stage and of course briefing us and having the event go underway.
Well, Pule, we can definitely see that it's a matter of minutes and just a short time before those proceedings do start there, but also seeing that there might be interest in some nations becoming permanent members of the BRICS nation. It will be quite interesting to see how politically that pans out, especially ahead of August, where all the heads of states then will be meeting. But also the duty of the political parties now to gather information, gather thoughts and deliberate ahead of that sitting. The big question, though, is still being asked, and I heard you ask it as well, colleague, will President Vladimir Putin also be in attendance come August? Of course, these first Deputy Secretary General Nomvula Mkonyane saying that they will hear that briefing from ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa when he briefs them as the ANC, because invitations are out and it seems all countries and heads of states involved are interested in coming, accepting those invitations, but it's a matter of time to see whether or not indeed he will be in attendance. You may ask why. This is just such a bone of contention in terms of asking continuously. You would know the war in Ukraine and Russia, where that war between the two nations has rather sparked a lot of interest and controversy in terms of South Africa hosting the BRICS Summit in August, because the ICC warrant of arrest for Vladimir Putin still stands. And the question is, will South Africa arrest him and hand him over to the ICC or not? We'll have to wait and see. That's sitting hopefully coming only in August.